Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has called for a united front between Europe's illiberal right-wing parties, and has predicted that Europe will shift toward Christian democracy, claiming that the big goal of EU leaders is to transform Europe into a post-Christian era, reports Reuters. Unlike liberal democracy, he said, Christian democracy rejects multiculturalism and immigration while being anti-communist and standing for Christian values. Reuters, there's a general shift toward the right in the whole of Europe, Orban said in front of an ethnic Hungarian audience in Backlash, Romania, on Saturday, referring to various populist movements throughout Europe. We must focus all our attention on the European elections of 2019. It's high time the European elections were about one serious common theme: immigration. Orban, a member of Hungary's conservative nationalist and populist Fidesz party, has been a vocal critic of forced multiculturalism throughout Europe, along with perhaps its largest private supporter George Soros. Their big goal: to transform Europe, to ship it into a post-Christian era, and into an era when nations disappear. This process could be undermined in the European elections, and it is our elementary interest to stop this transformation, Orban said of EU nations which promote and accommodate open border migration. Orban also took shots at the Western political elite, accusing them of failing to protect European nations. Unchecked migration, primarily from North African countries. The Hungarian premier renewed his attack on the European Commission after similar remarks in a radio interview on Friday, where he dismissed the bloc's executive as a lame duck. He said the Commission's concerns about Hungary's migration and non-government organization policies will soon cease to be relevant as its mandate expires. Bloomberg, we are facing a big moment. We are saying goodbye not simply to liberal democracy, but to the 1968 elite, said Orban, referring to an international wave of leftist, liberal protests which ended the ruling conservative order in several European countries. On June 20, the Hungarian parliament passed a Stop Soros bill, which will criminalize certain types of aid given to illegal immigrants, officially dubbed the Stop Soros law. The proposal makes it illegal to help migrants not entitled to protection apply for asylum and prohibits helping illegal migrants to gain status to remain in Hungary. Under the law, individuals or groups that commit either act would be subject to prison terms. Daily Caller, Orban loves Bannon. Orban also welcomed the founding of an anti-EU group, the Movement, which we noted on Saturday. Bannon plans to lead a populist revolt throughout Europe which, if successful, will crush George Soros and his network of open-border NGOs to smithereens, according to the Daily Beast. The Movement will be a Brussels-based non-profit NGO which will go head-to-head with Soros, with the goal of uniting like-minded European parties and various conservative think tanks along with other support structures. The non-profit will be a central source of polling, advice on messaging, data targeting, and think tank research for a ragtag band of right-wingers who are surging all over Europe, in many cases without professional political structures or significant budgets. Bannon's ambition is for his organization ultimately to rival the impact of Soros's Open Society, which has given away $32 billion to largely liberal causes since it was established in 1984. Over the past year, Bannon has held talks with right-wing groups across the continent, from Nigel Farage and members of Marine Le Pen's Front National, recently renamed Rassemblement National, in the west, to Hungary's Viktor Orban and the Polish populists in the east. Daily Beast. In other words, everyone who doesn't like largely unchecked human trafficking of migrants into Europe via Soros-funded NGOs which operate throughout the Mediterranean. Bannon is looking to establish a populist stronghold within European Parliament which could gain as many as a third of the lawmakers following next May's Europe-wide elections. As the Beast points out, a united populist bloc of that size would have the ability to seriously disrupt parliamentary proceedings, potentially granting Bannon huge power within the populist movement. In June, Bannon met with Italy's new Interior Minister Matteo Salvini and American Cardinal Raymond Burke, both of whom are staunchly opposed to the Pope's open border policies. The three met in Rome while Bannon was visiting to celebrate Italy's new populist coalition government run by Salvini, Five Star Movement leader Luigi Di Maio and Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte. In short, Hungary's Orban has declared the tide officially turned towards populism, while supporting Steve Bannon's plan to unite conservative Europeans under the umbrella of the movement.